Pages, Pixels, Pieces is the next segment of our show, and this segment is brought to you by the Fantasy Shop in Maplewood, Missouri. Proud to have our local comic book shop as our official sponsor. Comics, collectibles, toys, Magic the Gathering, and board games. The Fantasy Shop in St. Louis, proudly serving St. Louis since 1981. It's a great weekend. This weekend, we're recording the show, is the back order special that they have. So basically every back issue is $1, or if it's a $10 or more book, they do like half off, which is a great deal. And then they have free comic book day the first Saturday of May. So I think you and I are talking about driving down there and hanging out with those crew. It's a lot of fun. You know, Saturday and Sunday they have Star Wars tournaments with the various games. So
I promise I'll get down there sometime. It's just work. It's just got to sync up.
Hey, you know what? We'll figure it out. But like we just got done saying, you know, you're a manager. You have sway. He doesn't. He's a schmuck. Okay, cool. So it's going to be the recurring theme of the episode, right? We have a couple comic books to talk about this week. Darth Vader 15, Dr. Aphra 19. Let's go ahead and just start with Dr. Aphra. Let's change it up a little bit because this is a book line that we don't give as much attention to, but nonetheless it is a fan favorite. And you're talking about Dr. Aphra in February was I think it was like the second most sold book. So that's
really?
pretty. I mean that's a big deal. Out of all the comics, it's got a huge following, and so we give it some respect. Remastered is the current arc that we're in right now, and basically 000, which is one of those assassin droids that was with Dr. Aphra for so long, has betrayed her,
blackmailing her.
Blackmailing her, yes. And so it's a really interesting story. And what I like about this is the connectivity. It's something that I think is lacking from the saga films. But you have Harrison Dula on the cover of number 18. She's in this one with Aphra, and Aphra's hanging out on a rebel base and such. But
sneaking around, everybody's chasing her down.
Yeah, she's definitely got a lot on her mind. So I enjoy the issue. I think it's fun. The art's not my favorite, but it's not the worst. But it's more childlike to me in a way. There's moments where it's a little bit more childlike.
Doesn't bother me.
But what were your
it's not like the faces in the Star Wars mainline.
Yeah, Salvador LaRocca is going down. Did you see though that for I think it was Star Wars the main run that got an Eisner Award?
Really?
Yeah, but it was the penciler that got it. And I'm blanking on that individual's name. But at first I thought it was Salvador. I'm like, man, for as much controversy as he's getting right now with his faces, oh, man. But congratulations to that guy for penciling really well. Or maybe he was the letterer. I think it was the letterer.
Letterer?
I'm sorry. I messed that up. The letterer. Nonetheless, Dr. Aphra, anything stick out from you, David?
I don't know. The story's not really calling to me. I do like the concept of it where 000 blackmailing Dr. Aphra to find his old memory chips. So that's kind of interesting. It was kind of neat with Hera in there.
And it's a different 000 that we've seen before, right? Because I think a lot of us here at this table were introduced to the character
in the 2015 Vader run.
Yes. And then you also had them appear in like the Screaming Citadel, kind of in and out, right? Because Aphra was trying to screw over Luke and whatnot. So anything stand out to you on this issue? I know you're not a big follower of the comics, but I know you glanced at it.
I glanced at it a little bit. Honestly, like this one just, I have trouble with comics.
Yeah.
I really am having trouble with this one. I'm just not feeling it personally. I mean, it's cool to see Hera, pop back in, kind of builds on her character, which is great.
Well, we know that Hera lives out through, the battle on Endor. I mean, so she's around, so it's cool to see her weaving in that story a little bit more now.
Yeah, that's really the highlight for me. It's just not really doing much for me, unfortunately. But that other series you introduced me to,
Darth Vader number 15 is a masterpiece.
It is.
Before we get to that,
yes.
The letter that we were talking about, Clayton Cowles, Cowles.
Clayton, congratulations on your Eisner. That's a big deal. That's like an Emmy. I mean, that's a big deal.
Well, I don't know if you got it. That's the letterer who does the Star Wars line. So if it is a letter, it's him. If it's a colorist, it's
penciler?
Guru. Nope, penciler. I don't see a penciler. Writer, artist, colorist, letterer, cover.
It was probably the letterer.
Assistant, yeah.
Well, congratulations.
Clayton.
There we go. Yeah. All right, cool. So Darth Vader 15 is the real comic that we want to talk about because this is
so cool.
The continued pursuit of Jedi Master Bar. And, oh, my gosh. I'm mad about the ending because it is probably the truest cliffhanger we've gotten in this series so far. I worship at the altar of Charles Soule and Giuseppe Camicoli. I mean, I just really admire the work that these guys do. I'm reading Daredevil comic books now because I like Charles Soule that much.
He's got an altar in the closet.
Oh my gosh! Okay, so anyways, we're on Mon Cala, right? And this battle is ensuing, and I'm just if you take out the Vader component of this comic, it is still really cool to see the Mon Calamari going up against the Empire. The Empire have these like hover platforms that they're descending to the surface, and they're able to dispatch TIE fighters and troopers, and the troopers are going around. It reminded me a lot of the Micro series from 2003 because there was a scene where the clone troopers go down on Mon Cala. It was a very similar situation where it was with Kit Fisto, and the clone troopers have these like jet speeder type things that are built for underwater. Designs looked really similar. So I don't have it confirmed that that was an influence, but that's what it reminded me of, and I get really excited when I'm reminded of that original 2003 run. So that was really cool. But David, what sticks out? Because I'm sure there's a lot.
Oh, there's a lot. But the two things that really stick out, the first is when Vader's underwater and he's hanging out with that Kraken, and he touches its eye and does like a force mind trick on it, and then he puts Vader down in a force bubble and gives him back his lightsaber, and then Vader like rides him back to the surface. I just thought that was really cool.
It was pretty incredible.
Yeah. Vader hanging out with a big squid.
And obviously Vader is getting caught up in the battle, and he's trying to find this Jedi. He reconnects with the Inquisitors, and they let him know they haven't tracked down the King. They were supposed to track down the King. They didn't do that job. They were supposed to find the Jedi. They didn't do that. So Vader's
They know where the Jedi is.
But they do know
didn't track him down.
They did, because they tortured Lichar. Oh, shoot.
Lichar?
Lichar.
Yeah.
There we go. I want to say Lichala, but I was kind of combining Black Panther there. Jesse, I've converted you to the comics through Darth Vader. What are your thoughts about this issue?
Overall,
Yeah.
very intense.
Yeah, baby.
Just a lot of things going on. You mentioned like the technology. This is going to sound really weird to you, but it reminds me of James Bond Thunderball.
How so?
Just the underwater stuff.
Oh, okay.
Like,
Yeah, I can see
like
that.
like it's just something. I
Yeah.
love that movie as a kid, so I think that's why I'm kind of like having fun with this comic, because it's just like it's different. You're kind of used to all the TIE fighters,
Space
X-wings,
stuff and
actual ground combat, and this is aquatic and everything. So, just overall, just 10 out of 10. And the cliffhanger, like, just can't wait.
Can we just take a moment to appreciate how ruthless Governor Tarkin is? Is he governor here, or is he Grand Moff yet?
I believe he's governor at this point, because it's still early on. We're still like
Yeah, I
right
think
after
it's pretty
Revenge.
early on.
Well, regardless, how ruthless he is. When he's talking with Commander Jordo, and he says that I realize I can expect very little from you, so requisition a set of stormtrooper armor for him and send him to the surface. Perhaps he'll find a way to make himself useful. I mean,
That's
MVP of the Empire.
yeah.
It was probably the best moment of that comic, considering the fact that Vader does the thing with the Kraken-like monster, and you have the scene where you have Bar with his Jedi. I love how they're so openly talking about Anakin Skywalker and how he betrayed the Jedi. To me, that's the reward of opening up the canon again and being able to explore that there were survivalists of Order 66, that some people did know Anakin Skywalker was the one, that they did know that Anakin Skywalker became Darth Vader. To me, that was really cool. And to know how that last panel ends, the end of these Jedi could be in the very near future. I won't give that all away. We don't even warn you. We just spoiled the whole damn issue on you. But it's at this point, honestly, if you're gonna read the comic, you're gonna read it. But if you want to know it all, stick around in just a second, because we're about to give it away. But anything else that we haven't talked about from this issue that we want to talk? I think it was overall, a 10 out of 10. I know that we were a little disenchanted with issue number 11. I don't like the Ninth Sister.
But it wasn't... there have been worse comics put out there by the Star Wars universe.
That's true. That's very
And
true.
if we're 15 issues in and we have complaints, if we are nitpicking one out of the 15, then this is a solid run.
Yeah.
It really is. It's really enjoyable, and we want you to let us know, what is your favorite comic from this week. Let us know in the comments below, because that's how we continue our Star Wars conversation. And, gentlemen, I think it's time that we give away more free comics. So this week's giveaway, thanks to our sponsors, the Fantasy Shop in Maplewood, Missouri, Darth Vader number 15, Dr. Aphra number 19. Folks,
Just those two?
we need a keyword. Yeah, because, we do the weeks of, and I think next week maybe we'll do maybe a variant or so. We are going to be announcing our 600 subscriber contest in the very near future to kind of complement our 1-year anniversary. But for this week, this week's comics, Darth Vader number 15, Dr. Aphra 19, and let's make the keyword this week hashtag smells like fish. All right, so smells like fish is the hashtag, right? Because Vader is slicing up those Mon Calamari, and woo, man, does it smell like a Catholic fish fry in here. Okay, so what we need to do is comment down below, hashtag smells like fish. You might have a chance to win
Fried calamari
this week's
sounds
comics.
pretty good.
Fried calamari does sound really good.
Do you think that we won't dive into that dark side of? Do they eat Mon Calamari?
There's this guy that
It's a delicacy.
there's a meme on the internet right now where it's like a Lego fish shop, and it's all these Mon Calamari characters walking up and eating the fish, and it's like,
You can get it at Canto Bite for premium credit.
oh yeah, can't help it. They're all freaks there. If you haven't already, go ahead and smash that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. You can watch other videos just like this one right now by checking out these videos on your screen. And by the way, thanks for checking out Beyond the Blast Doors.